Hi everyone, and welcome to another amazing car here on CollectorCarCanada.CA Car Reviews Podcast. Today we're looking at a 2003 BMW M3. So this is from the E46 generation, and just calling it an M3 certainly sells it short. You can tell that this car is heavily modified for performance. It's modified mechanically, it's modified in the interior, it's modified in the exterior, and we're going to talk about that in this video. It's lot 229 on CollectorCarCanada.CA, so please take a look at it there once you're done looking at the video. For now, we're going to give it a start, and we have company. Hello, man. Enjoy your walk this morning. And so we'll start the engine, have a listen to the engine itself, and then the exhaust. Then I'll grab the camera for a handheld portion, give you a little tour of the car. So here we go. So if you sensed a little delay there, I didn't realize I needed to have my foot on the brake to start the car. So once I got my foot on the brake, nice easy start. So I'll hop out, pop the hood first here, and we'll start our little tour. Okay, here's a look at the 03 M3 at rest while idling. I wanted to show you this before I open the hood, being an owner of an era BMW myself. Just an ingenious little hood release here. You grab this handle, pop it, and that's the second release after opening it up in the cabin. So here's a look at the 3.2 liter inline 6 S54 engine stock in a 2003 M3. This one's been juiced up though. It's got a supercharger, and we'll get into the details of that in a moment. But for now, let's give it a good listen. If you see the white wire in the picture, it's just my microphone. I'm using the microphone to get closer to the engine for a good listen. So we'll get a little more into the details of the mods after we shut down the engine. But for now, there's a good look and listen to it. Now I'll move my way back to the rear. I'll show you this label for the paint color. I showed you the label for the VIN under hood as well. But let's get a listen to the exhaust. So we've got twin outlets on either side on this BMW M3. Now of course the exhaust itself has been modified, but the placement of the twin pipes on the two sides remains stock. So they're on the side but kind of centrally mounted. So there's the 70-inch rear spoiler. Again, I'll get into those modifications when we get going with the exterior portion of the video. So for now, I don't think we need that engine running. I'm going to shut down the engine. And we'll leave the key in place. So normally I start with the exterior, but being that the hood is open here, and I've got so much more to say about performance of this car, we'll start with this part. So cruising right in on this, again, it's so stock, it's a S54 BMW 3.2 liter. And I suppose the biggest modification is this supercharger we see here. It's by ESS Tuning. You can see its branding right there. And the transmission in this car is the SMG, the sequential manual gearbox, and it's got a CSL tune. So there's M3s and then there are M3 CSLs. The BMW aficionados in the crowd will know what I'm talking about. Another neat mod here is the 19-inch Cranston forged 3-piece wheels, and they're skinned in Toyos. We'll look at it a little more closely when we do our exterior tour. JBT Racing and Rotora calipers underneath those wheels. More to do with the engine running. We've got an AEM E85 compatible fuel pump. There's an AFD ProFlex E85 fuel kit. So E85, that's that ethanol blend we see at some fuel service stations nowadays. There's a Bimmer World fuel starvation kit. Down below, we've got AKG Motorsport engine mounts. Here's an aluminum rad. So that aluminum radiators by CFS Race. It's a triple pass with the same brand oil cooler. There's a Mishimoto power steering fluid radiator. A Moroso coolant reservoir. We see the Moroso name over here. And on the inside, we've got a display for it, but there are AIM data sensors monitoring the engine at all times. And the headers are OBX Racing Sports 6-to-1, and they're catless. And the exhaust, which I suppose we've heard, you can't see it right now, of course, but it's by Beluga Racing. Again, catback. So that's a pretty good tour of the engine bay. I'll show you this VIN again. Certainly it matches to the VIN on the dash and in the door jamb. And we also have the registration for the car, where we checked it out. And there's the color, the Mystic Blue Metallic. Blau being German for blue. So there's some of those AST suspension components. So that's a good look down there. Let's close that up. And there's a beauty shot of the front of the car, the BMW Motorsport windshield decal being pretty prominent. And that aluminum cooler is quite conspicuous by its presence in the opening without the grille work down below the bumper cover. Tow hook ready to go for the track. And the beautiful Bayerisch Motorwerken badge here, BMW. Now this seller has talked about stone chips on the front. I suppose I can see a little bit what he's talking about, but he's a pretty particular owner. I don't know if you can even see them in this light, but if you can, that's about what we're looking at. So pretty, for a 2003, they're quite minor, but to this seller's credit, he's told us about them. The familiar 4-eye look with the BMW lights, although one of them is given up in favor of an intake here. So on the driver's side, bright light Bosch covers on that headlight as well. Intakes down here as well, and here's a front splitter with an easy off function. So Mystic Blue Metallic, like I say, and the body kit is by Pandem, a wide body kit by Pandem. You can see there are carbon fiber components throughout the exterior of the car. The rear diffuser, we'll go take a look at that, being that we're talking about it anyway. So you can see down there with that metal part, it's equipped with an easy off system in case you wanted to operate the car without. And then the fender flares, quite evident. You can see them here on the rear, and you can even see them on the front in this picture, but you'll see them throughout the video, of course. Xenon headlights up front, and this 70-inch rear wing. That's by Battle Arrow. The trunk lid is a CSL style trunk lid. You can see it's got the carbon fiber spoiler on it, in addition to the Battle Arrow wing here. And then the hood as well, by VIS Racing in the GTR style. So as I say, the front bumper and the splitter are equipped with easy off systems. And we'll take a more conventional walk around, highlighting some of the the features of the exterior of this car. Again, the 19-inch wheels we talked about. They're skinned in Toyo Proxys R888s. So these are made for the track. No winter driving with these. Nice and clean, but you can see the M Performance calipers are still in place, or sorry, the caliper covers at least. I talked about the calipers earlier. Got a cross-drilled rotor there. The familiar M3 venting for the E46 M3 still in place, and those fender flares kind of work around it. Here's a look at the extreme side skirt. Another item that this owner mentioned to us, as I say, he's pretty particular. We always ask what are the flaws of a car. He mentioned that these side mirrors might need refinishing. I'm noticing also that there's BMW insignia here on the windshield to indicate an OEM item. And there's a look at the VIN number. So the car is equipped with a sunroof. Keep it closed at the track. Mystic Blue Metallic again is the color, and a seriously staggered set of wheels on this car. Maybe I'll give you the tire measurements. So again, Toyo Proxys R888 tires. I see a date code here of 2020, so they're not dated at all really. And here's a look at the tire size. We're looking at the rear tire here, 325, 30, 19. I remember they're 30 size, 30 profile in the front as well, but let's get the full size. So here it is. Unfortunately, it's upside down for the picture, but 295, 30 ZR19 with the Y speed rating. Here's a good look at what this Mystic Blue Metallic looks like in the sun. It really is a pretty color. Not quite Laguna Seca blue, but I do like the Mystic Blue Metallic. Another cutout we need here for the fender flares for the fuel door, but it's certainly accounted for by the manufacturer of the fender flares. There's the easy off item for that rear splitter. All of the wheels look quite good. I think the biggest mark I see on one is right here, and I'll show that with a coin just to reinforce that it's pretty minimal. There you can see. Working our way around. Again, this side mirror, it's a little messy. I wouldn't call it totally unpresentable, but if you're wanting to make this car perfect, maybe that'd be where you start. And there's a good look at the car from the 2 o'clock angle. We'll climb inside, have a little tour of the interior. Before I climb in, you'll see a lot of sporting appointments here, starting with the door cards. No more map pockets and conventional door handles. The red strap operates the latch, and the black strap is just a pull handle to bring the door closed. The M3 door jamb treatment remains. You can see the 6-point harness here. There's the VIN in the door jamb with some other information. 2 fire extinguishers inside this car. One here directly behind the driver's seat. One here in the rear. Okay, we're going to use our backup video for the rest of the video due to a technical challenge. So yeah, the 2 fire extinguishers, as I mentioned, one behind the driver's seat, one below the roll cage in the rear. You'll note that the rear seats have been removed to accommodate that 4-point cage. And I'll just go over the modifications to the interior of the car. There is a set of Corbeau racing seats. The model name is set out on our detailed listing. Again, it's lot 229 on CollectorCarCanada.CA. There's a flat bottom steering wheel in micro suede. The diameter is in micro suede by AZA. I mentioned this earlier in the video. There's an AIM digital display, and there's also an Extron display. You'll see photos of it in our detailed listing. The Extron, among other things, is the monitor for backup camera and navigation. The 4-point cage you saw while we were showing you the fire extinguishers is a 4-pointer. It's by Bayside Fabrication. There are hard motorsport door cards with the pull strap, so we were demonstrating those for you. There's carbon fiber trim throughout the interior. Get a good look at those from the stills on the detailed listing. In addition to the micro suede for the steering wheel diameter, the parking brake boot is also finished in micro suede. And the center console's been changed out to a Euro style number, so the armrest and the cup holders are removed on the Euro style center console. So that gives you a good sense of it. As I say, we didn't get as much of a video tour of the interior as we had planned due to that technical challenge, but it's well photographed in our detailed listing in the still photos. You'll see a number of stock appointments just complemented with the aftermarket pieces. So in addition to the AIM and Extron digital displays, you'll also see the factory instrumentation. So that gives you a good sense. So just moving to some closing thoughts. Again, this is a 2003 BMW M3 Coupe with extensive modifications for performance and for cosmetics. It's finished in a blue. We call it Mystic Blue Metallic, or rather BMW calls it Mystic Blue Metallic. And the interior is black, most of which has been changed out for the performance modifications. Again, it's lot 229 in CollectorCarCanada.CA. Thank you for watching, and we're going to move on to the next car.